Hello everybody, it is Claudia and this is Patchwork with Claudia. Today we are working on the double C block. To make this block we will need A squares 4 inches color A and A squares 4 inches color B. Let's see how it works. I have here all 16 squares that I need for this block. Now it is time to make the half square triangle sections. So we take the A-line fabrics and draw a diagonal line in the center, a diagonal line, and from there we measure a 1/4 inch on each side and we draw another line. We will sew on those lines. After we press, then we will cut on the middle line. So we are going to line up all my fabrics. So my light fabric on the top of the dark fabric or the second fabric, and we organize this way. So when I have my two fabrics is when it's time to sew. Then we press and then we cut to get this block. So let's do it. I'm going to join the two squares, sewing on the outside diagonal lines. Organize my fabrics very well and start sewing. So I make here the first one. So now I need to press and cut. I need to do the same with my other pieces. It's time to trim all 16 sections to get 3.5 inch around. So let's start doing that. Move this one around and grab my ruler and start trimming all my sections. I have here my first section that is already 3.5 inches around. I need to do the same process with the other 15. Now we have all sections ready to start assembling our block. We lay out the block and then start sewing them together row by row. After we have all 4 rows ready, we press them and we lay out the block again. So let's start sewing. I am going to start with row 1. So I need to nest here my seams and start sewing. We sew using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. The second part of my first row, and then I nest again here. To nest these corners, if you need to use, you feel better using pins, you can do it. And now I'm going to start with my second row. Line here my sections. Now I'm starting here, joining the third row. Now it's time to join the fourth row. So we nest the corners. And this is the second part of the fourth row. Now I'm going to continue to assembling my rows. If you see, now is half of the row is done already. You can see when you lay out the pattern that here in the middle you can see the pinwheel block. Now let's continue assembling our rows. And I'm going here. I need to nest my seams to get a better corners. Let's do with the second row. So I nest my seams. Move a little bit here. So let me reorganize again and continue sewing. Now my third row. And my fourth row. Let's see what we have so far. Let me remove this leftover thread. And I am going to lay out my block again in this way. This one goes this way, and this one goes this way. Now we need to press the seams and continue assembling our block. After we press the rows, we lay out the block again and we can appreciate it better. So now it's time to start sewing the rows. So I am going to help myself with some pins. So I am going to nest the seams together here, so we get better points. So I'm going to help myself with some pins. At this point of time, pins are very helpful, so we can match the corners better and to prevent that the fabric moves when we are sewing. I'm going to do the same with the third and fourth row. I am joining here my row 3 and 4 and nest my seams to get better points. We will notice when our block is done that we have more precise corners. So let's start sewing. Let's go here. It is totally normal that we need to stop sometimes and reorganize the fabric. Now let's join rows 3 and 4. Let's see what we have. Now let's lay out the block again. And here goes this way. So here we can see the block. Now it's time to join these two parts. So again, I'm going to hold the fabric with some pins, match my corners here. Let's do here the same. And finally here. Let's continue sewing. Let's organize here. And we are done with our block. So let's see it. Now we can see the block. Now it's time to press it, and we are done. Here is our double C final block. It measures 12.5 inches. I invite you to practice it, to subscribe to my channel, share the videos, and give me thumbs up. See you next time here in Patchwork with Claudia. Bye.